Is Clue, right? Yeah. Clue, right? All right, it's good to meet you. My name is Ithiel, man. Ithiel. Yep. All right. So one of the things that he's bringing out, you know why he's bringing these scriptures out? Why he's showing historical references and going to the Bible and delivering it to you? You know why he's doing that? Open my eyes. Yes. To open your eyes to who you truly are, right? Because we met a sister earlier that she said she was African American, right? And we told her, well, the name Africa and the name American comes from two white people, right? So how is it that you, being a black man or a black woman, are named after two white people, right? How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense, right? So when we go into the scriptures, when we went into slavery, as the scripture said, right? The scripture said we would go on the cargo slave ships and then be sold to our enemies, right? When we were sold to our enemies, did they let us retain our names? They didn't, right? So they gave us some white names, right? So did they let us retain our racial identity? Because when we was on them ships, we wasn't like, I'm African American, how about you? We wasn't doing that. So what was we called before we got on them slave ships?
I'm guessing, because I don't really know too much of my history.
Israelites. How do we know that? Deuteronomy 1:1. Let's go to the beginning of the book before he started announcing all these curses. Let's see who he's talking to, because history tells us that a group of people did go into slavery with slave ships, right? Everybody knows that. You can Google the word slave right now. Black people gonna come up, right? So let's find out who Moses was talking to in this book. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
He's speaking to who?
Unto all Israel.
Clue, he's speaking to all Israel. So that means before we went on them slave ships, our name was Israel. There we go, right? Now, this whole Bible is about a man named Jacob. Also, his name was changed to Israel. And his 12 children and their descendants. Their descendants go by these names right here, right? But through slavery, their names were changed to these names right here, right? So where would you find your slave name on this sign here?
Where would be my slave name?
Yeah, come on, you come.
Okay, yeah.
I ain't gonna bite you.
I'm guessing that one.
So Judah, right? So American blacks, right? Before all this stuff happened, we was known as Judah, right? You know who else comes from the tribe of Judah? Jesus Christ, right? Get Revelations 1:1, right? Now, I want you to think about this, right? We identifying in the Bible slave ships. Our people going to slavery on slave ships. Because of what?
Because of slavery.
Not because of slavery. We went into slavery, but why did we go into slavery? You said it in the beginning. Remember we was talking about the word hearken.
Oh, yes. I got to use my brain.
Yep.
Shutting down.
Don't shut down yet. We still here.
We still here. We locking in.
Yep.
So, rephrase the question again. I want to answer it correctly.
Why did all these curses happen to our people? Like the curse of slavery on slave ships. Why did these curses happen to us?
Because we were taken away from our land.
Okay, why was we taken away from our land? There's got to be a reason for it.
Not because our valuable assets.
So this is where public school and social standing comes in. But remember, the Bible told us. Get that in Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 again. Listen good, Clue. Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these curses would come upon our people if we did not hearken unto what?
Until slavery.
No. Read it one more time, and then I'm going to give it to you.
Okay,
right?
Cool.
Read.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
To do all his commandments. We got to hearken and observe to do all his commandments, right? Or else we're going to go into slavery on slave ships. Now, Clue, did we go into slavery on slave ships?
Yes, we did.
Which means what?
We didn't do our commandments.
We didn't do none of that.
We didn't listen.
Right? So God was like, I said it, so it's going to happen. Yeah. That's why when we read it in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, it said, just as I'm saying it to you, it's going to happen. Okay. Right? So he said it, and it happened. Right? And Moses is speaking to the children of Israel, which is our real name. Right? So in this slavery, right? As a curse, we lost our heritage. Get that for me in Jeremiah 17, right? I'm gonna show you two things, right? I'm gonna show you what happens as a result of us losing our heritage through these curses. All right? Get that for me? Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
So God gave us a heritage. What's in the heritage, Clue?
A heritage.
Yeah.
Is that like a religion or kind of like
The God you serve is part of your heritage,
Okay.
right? What else? Like our commandments. That would be part of our heritage. We didn't listen to that, right?
Yeah.
What else is in our heritage? In a heritage.
Like the color skin or race?
Okay, that's more like your description, right? You got a language that you speak. You got the way that you dress, the customs and traditions that you observe, the things that you do on a regular basis. That's your heritage. The land that you're from, right? Those are things that you inherit as a heritage, right? Now, us as a people here, we don't know our original language. We don't know our original name. We don't even know where the hell we come from. We be like, where are black people from? They say Africa.
Yeah, I used to say that.
But we're in Africa.
I'm Brooklyn. That's
Right? You just from Brooklyn, that's it? That's it? I'm from Brooklyn too. Right? So here's the thing, right? Once we go past where we was born and where our grandfather was born, right? It becomes very foggy. Right? I can't really place it. That's because God said, I'm going to cause your heritage to discontinue. Now, instead of that heritage that we were supposed to inherit from our forefathers, what we've inherited is everything that these people gave us. You understand? Like Christmas, like Valentine's Day, like Halloween, like the Christian church. Our forefathers wasn't observing that. They wasn't going into the Christian church with that wooden cross on Sundays. They wasn't doing that, right? We were supposed to be keeping the commandments of God, right? Now, let me show you one thing, right? Give me Revelations 1 and 1. I'm going to show you this because I told you I was going to show you two things, right? Right? Stand back for a little bit, right? Because when you go to the Christian church, right, you learn about this guy. Who's this guy?
That's white Jesus.
That's white Jesus. He said it, right? White Jesus, right? Right? Why you said white Jesus? Because a lot of people come up here and be like, that's Jesus.
Because I heard his original name was Joshua.
Okay.
And he was a bad guy.
He was a black guy,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I heard.
Okay, that's what you heard. Let's go into the Bible and see if that's an opinion or if that's a fact. Right? Read what you got.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Yep.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So now we're going to reveal Jesus Christ. That's what revelation means. It means to reveal. So we're going to reveal him. Jump to verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So now when we look at white Jesus, we don't see his head and his hairs. They not white and they not like wool. Right? Right? But if you look over there all the way down, you see an image of a man that has white woolly hair. Right? His head and his hairs. Right? Read on.
As white as snow.
Fully white.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now, when we look at this guy, white Jesus right here, we don't see his eyes being like a flame of fire. Like, it's not even red. When you go over there, his eyes is red. Right? Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now, we in Hawaii. Everybody wears slippers. Right? So, if I'm a little kid, right, and I say, color Jesus, I'm not going to color his feet green, his arms yellow, and his face brown. Your body is brown all over, right? So when it says his feet, describes his feet, it's also describing the color of the rest of his body, right? So read that part again.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
What color is something that's burned?
Charred.
Charred. What color is something that's charred?
Probably black.
Black, right? So now you said, I heard he was black. Now you know he was black because the Bible said it. You understand? So now, what does that mean now, right? Because a lot of people say it don't matter. Well, it don't matter, right? But now we find out, well, if Jesus Christ is black, right? And we find out that his people went into slavery on ships.
Because they wasn't listening to
Right? Right? That's proof that it's us. Because we have woolly hair, we're black, and we went on the slave ships.
That's right.
And we also don't listen to none of them commandments.
Yeah, no.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this is Bible fact. Your history is Bible facts.
Right.
At one point it was a prophecy, then it became history. And we're living proof of that today because we have no heritage to speak of.
Okay.
Right? You go all around, everybody has a heritage. What is the Israelite man supposed to be doing today? Do you know? Because you just said you came from work.
Yeah.
right? You know, you going to work today, that's oppression. That's breaking God's laws. Did you know that?
Oh, no,
Woo!
So I just was trying to get
I
some,
got
some
you.
help
That's why you came by us. And all praises you came across the street. Not everybody does that.
Exactly.
Right? We're going to show you something, right? Because it was important for us to hearken to the commandments of God. Right? Give me Exodus chapter 20 verse 8. Let's teach our brother. Let's teach him so that way he knows better. Right? Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Remember, Clue, we're the children of Israel. So as we read in this Bible, he's speaking to you. When he say, remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy, he's speaking to you. Read on.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
You got 6 days to labor and do all your work. Get it all done. You got 6 days to do that. That's plenty of time. Read.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Clue, what is the seventh day?
Saturday.
Saturday. What's today?
Saturday.
So the Bible says the seventh day is what?
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Did you know that?
I actually didn't. I didn't know that.
So that means you didn't remember. You know, we lost our heritage.
Exactly.
Right? And what we've done is instead of keeping that seventh day, we go to church on what day?
Sunday.
That's not the seventh day. Right? So we learned a completely different religion, a completely different heritage, instead of remembering what our God told us to do. Right? And if we don't follow what our God told us to do, what happens to us?
We get sold and we get...
We remain in slavery. Right? Finish it up.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
You can't do no work?
Thou shalt not do any work.
Clue, did you know you can't do no work on the Lord's Sabbath day?
Calling off Saturday.
Good. You want to know what? That's standing up against evil. Right? That's standing up for the Lord. A lot of men won't do that. Because they, you know what? They think the money that can be burned, the money that's going to disappear as soon as a bomb drop down over here. Right? They think that's more important than following God. You understand? So what you said was a big statement right there. You understand? Calling on Saturdays, right? You know, a lot of people have a hard time enduring that. Like, because your boss will call you and be like, hey, come on, man, I need you. I need you here, right? You know how we fight that? Get Zephaniah 2 and 1. I'm going to show you how we fight that, because every one of us had to deal with that at one time or another. I'm going to show you how we fight that. It's one of the most important things for black men to remember, black and Hispanic men to remember. And according to historical figures in America, it's the most dangerous thing to America. Right? I'm going to show you what it is. Read.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
You heard what it said? It says we got to gather ourselves together. But it said, O nation not desired. We're not desired. Right? Which is why they can shoot us in the streets. Which is why they funnel drugs and trucks full of guns into our communities. And them, what's them trucks with them bait trucks? It'd be a truck full of Jordans, and they leave it unlocked, and they just watch, see if niggas gonna go get it, right? That's why they can do. We're not a desired people. So God said we gotta gather ourselves together, right? And you know, once we gather ourselves together, we can encourage each other in a righteous manner. We can say, hey, look, Clue, man, hey, you don't go to the Sabbath. I'll come scoop you. Don't go to work because today is the Sabbath day. That's what I meant to say. Don't go to work because today's the Sabbath day. Your boss calling you, be like, hey, man, we need you. We be like, no. Stand tall, we gonna back you up. You know, it's power in being a nation, right? There's a man named J. Edgar Hoover. He was the first director of the FBI in America, right? He said the greatest threat to America is Negro unity, right? So you want to know why everything is separating us? Why our music is made for us to kill each other, steal from each other, rob from each other? Why they got all the sales on Saturday so you can go and shop and buy and work? It's so that way you are not unified with your people. There's a huge power in unity, right? Get Psalms 133 and verse 1. There's a huge power in unity because God told us that was a power. God told us it's a great thing when we're unified. Now, are we supposed to be unified in nigga stuff? Right? When we go to the party and the strippers at the party, is that unity?
No.
And we getting high as hell at the party, is that unity?
No.
It's unity, but it's not God's unity.
It's unity.
That's not what God's talking about, though, right? Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133 and verse 1.
Right.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
To dwell together what?
In unity.
In chaos?
In unity.
In unity. Right? In unity. So, Clue, man, what's some things that you learned? You learn who you were? What's going on, big bro? we learned that we the Israelites.
Exactly.
And we got to do what?
We gotta stick together.
We got to stick together and do what? We got to go to the strip club?
No. We gotta come together. We gotta come together in positivity.
Positivity, I don't know what that means. Right? I don't know what that means. A lot of people have a different meaning for positivity. That's what the Bible is specific. It leaves no room for interpretation. Right? God didn't put us in slavery because we lacked positivity. Why did he put us in slavery, Clue?
Because we didn't listen.
Listen to what?
Those 10 commandments.
To them commandments. Right? What commandment did you learn today?
I learned
Today.
today. Oh yes, I learned that today you don't work.
Why?
Because today is the day of the Lord.
Today is the day of
Sabbath.
the Sabbath day. You understand? Today is the Sabbath day, right?
Yes, sir.
Which means we not, as the Israelites, it's our heritage that God gave us to not work on this day.
It's a car.
What's going on, man?
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word